As the fallout continues from the story that broke over the weekend in the Times of London and on the BBC4 in Great Britain, various businesses and organizations still continue to back away from Russell Brand, actor, comedian, and commentator. Yesterday, it was reported that YouTube would demonetize his channel, a channel that has over 6 million viewers. However, news has come forth today that not only may give Mr. Brand a little bit of comfort in the midst of all his troubles, but also speak to the vast differences practically and philosophically between social media platforms in this new era in which we find ourselves. What am I talking about? Hang on, folks. We're going to get into all this in just 1 second. My name is Brian Trippett. I am your front porch conservative. Step on up to my electronic front porch and let's talk. In a move that is not necessarily surprising given the current day and age in which we find ourselves, YouTube made the decision that it would demonetize Russell Brand's channel, a channel, as I mentioned earlier, that has over 6 million different viewers. Now, while the move may not be unsurprising, it is most certainly unfair and absolutely hypocritical. So let's take a look at what's going on. I'll explain why I feel this way, and then I'll show you what the alternatives are and how they're responding to the pressure to try to remove Russell Brand from their platforms. We will begin with an article from Forbes magazine. Headline: YouTube blocks Russell Brand from making money on his channel after sexual assault allegations. Article written by Robert Hart. YouTube on Tuesday has stopped Russell Brand from making money from his channel on the platform after he was accused of rape and sexual assault, cutting off a key source of income for the actor and comedian after his publisher, management agency, and charity severed ties over the allegations. YouTube has suspended monetization on Brand's channel for violating its creator responsibility policy, the Google-owned video sharing site confirmed to Forbes in a statement on Tuesday. The decision will stop Brand from making money on the platform, which primarily comes from adverts embedded in videos and applies to, quote, all channels that may be owned or operated by Brand, YouTube said, stressing that its rules also apply to behavior off the platform as well. Quote, if a creator's off-platform behavior harms our users, employees, or ecosystem, we take action to protect the community, a YouTube spokesperson said. Brand has denied the allegations against him. YouTube acknowledged that it is rare for monetization to be blocked for off-platform behavior, but said its actions regarding Brand were consistent with previous enforcement of its policies, pointing to its previous decisions to demonetize beauty influencer James Charles and internet personality David Dobrik. Suspended users are banned from using new or alternative channels to circumvent enforcement, YouTube said. Okay, let's get into this. I said that the move is not necessarily surprising. Reason being is, let's be honest about it, in a day and age in which an allegation can be considered the proof of guilt as opposed to the proof itself, I'm not surprised by what YouTube is doing. They're backing off of him, just like his publishers backed off of Russell Brand, and just like various other businesses and organizations that have associated with the actor, comedian, and commentator. Now, we can sit here all day long and make an argument about whether it's a good move on the part of YouTube or not. I'm going to go ahead and give you my take on it. I think this is a load of crap on the part of YouTube. And I'll tell you why. It seems to me that YouTube is trying to have it both ways. They're trying to curry favor with a certain segment of the population that wants to roast Russell Brand alive for what's happened, despite the fact that there's been no proof brought forward yet in the court of public opinion or in the courts of law. I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'll say it all the way through this. Russell Brand should be accorded the same privilege as everyone else. He is innocent until he is proven guilty. Okay? So as far as I am concerned, this is an absolutely unfair move on the part of YouTube. They don't know whether he's guilty of this or not. Now, it's their platform. They have the right to do it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that they don't. But is it fair? Absolutely not. It's also hypocritical. And now let me explain why I feel this way. Let me take you to a interview that was done today by the journalist Alison Morrow. She interviewed a gentleman named Richard Graves on her channel, and she said something that I thought was really profound. Gentlemen, do me a favor and take a listen to this.
Yep.
He's going along, he's fine, he's making millions of dollars, YouTube's making millions of dollars, and all of a sudden anonymous allegations come out of nowhere. Why now? I mean, I think that's a fair question to ask. I also think it's a fair question to ask why, YouTube didn't just kick him off altogether. Why didn't they just kick him off the platform? Why are they still making money off of him if they hate his guts so much?
And that is a very fair question indeed. Why are you trying to have it both ways? You'll demonetize him off your platform, but you most certainly don't mind making money off of him, because let's be honest about it. Advertisers are still paying money to YouTube. Those ads are still going on Russell Brand's videos, but Russell Brand can't get any money out of it, but YouTube's still making cash. So you see why I'm beginning to say it's a little bit hypocritical? You'll demonetize him, but you'll still make money off of him. That, to me, smacks of gross hypocrisy. And as far as I'm concerned, YouTube ought to reverse their decision. Until this matter is settled in the courts of law, the courts of public opinion, you accord him the same thing you accord to everybody else. He's innocent until proven guilty. Okay? This behavior of which he is accused has nothing to do with the videos that he's put up on the platform. Leave him up there. Let him make money off of them. However, not all things are completely dark as far as that aspect of his life is concerned. What I'm getting at is how he's being treated by social media. Something happened today that I think is definitely worth talking about for any number of different reasons. If for nothing else, to understand the differences between social media platforms in this era in which we find ourselves. I want to take you to a letter that was sent to the CEO of Rumble. I'm going to read this in its entirety. To Chris Pavlovski, Chief Executive Officer, Rumble, by email, 20 September 2023. Dear Chris, I am writing concerning the serious allegations regarding Russell Brand in the context of his being a content creator on Rumble with more than 1.4 million followers. The Culture, Media, and Sports Committee is raising questions with the broadcasters and production companies who previously employed Mr. Brand to examine both the culture of the industry in the past and whether the culture still prevails today. However, we are also looking at his use of social media, including on Rumble, where he issued his preemptive response to the accusations made against him by the Sunday Times and Channel 4's dispatches. While we recognize that Rumble is not the creator of the content published by Mr. Brand, we are concerned that he may be able to profit from his content on the platform. Now listen to this. We would be grateful if you could inform whether Mr. Brand is able to monetize his content, including his videos relating to the serious accusations against him. If so, we would like to know whether Rumble intends to join YouTube in suspending Mr. Brand's ability to earn money on the platform. We would also like to know what Rumble is doing to ensure that creators are not able to use the platform to undermine the welfare of victims of inappropriate and potentially illegal behavior. Yours sincerely, Dame Caroline Dinenage, DPE, Member of Parliament, Chair of the Culture, Media, and Sports Committee in the House of Commons. Well, now, isn't this a kick in the head? Check this out. It is so blatant, this one. Now, I've got criticisms of the government of the United States when it comes to interfering with social media platforms and other things as far as where free speech is concerned. But here's an example of the government of Great Britain sending a message to an American company and asking them flat out, we would be grateful to confirm whether Mr. Brand is able to monetize his content, including his videos related to these serious accusations against him. We would also like to know whether Rumble intends to join YouTube in suspending Mr. Brand's ability to earn money on the platform. Are you kidding me right now? Really? Okay, with all due respect to Dame Caroline Dinenage, a member of Parliament and the chair of this committee in the House of Commons, none of your damn business, as far as I'm concerned, but then again, I'm not the CEO of Rumble. Okay, this, if ever you wanted proof of a government's willingness and ability to get in the grill of the leadership of social media platforms and try to influence their decision just because you don't happen to like the person or the content that is being housed on that platform, here's a perfect example of it. Okay? Now, what I love about this is how Rumble responded. I want to show you a statement that they issued today. Take a look at this. This is from Chris Pavlovski. Today, we received an extremely disturbing letter from a committee chair in the UK Parliament. While Rumble obviously deplores sexual assault, rape, and all serious crimes, and believe that both the alleged victims and the accused are entitled to a full and serious investigation, it is vital to note that recent allegations against Russell Brand have nothing to do with the content on Rumble's platform. Just yesterday, YouTube announced that, based solely on these media accusations, it was barring Mr. Brand from monetizing his video content. Rumble stands for very different values. We have devoted ourselves to the vital cause of defending a free internet, meaning an internet where no one arbitrarily dictates which ideas can and cannot be heard, or which citizens may or may not be entitled to a platform. We regard it as deeply inappropriate and dangerous that the UK Parliament would attempt to control who is allowed to speak on our platform or to earn a living from doing so. Singling out an individual and demanding his ban is even more disturbing, given the absence of any connection between the allegations and his content on Rumble. We don't agree with the behavior of many Rumble creators, but we refuse to penalize them for actions that have nothing to do with our platform. Although it may be politically and socially easier for Rumble to join a cancel culture mob, doing so would be a violation of our company's values and mission. We emphatically reject the UK Parliament's demands. And my response to that is, hell yes! Now that's what I call standing up for free speech. That is what I call standing up for the rights of an individual to have their voice heard. And I love the response to this. The allegations against Mr. Brand have nothing to do with the content on this platform. And I love the way this is worded. We find it disturbing given the absence of a connection. We don't agree with the behavior of our Rumble creators. We refuse to penalize them for actions having nothing to do with our platform. We regard it as deeply inappropriate and dangerous that the UK Parliament would attempt to control who is allowed to speak on our platform. Hear, hear! Look, I've said before and I'll say it again. I don't know whether Russell Brand is guilty of that which he's accused or whether he's innocent of it. But the man should have the right to have his voice heard. The actions of which he is accused have nothing to do with what is on Rumble's platform, and this is what I call standing up for the right to free speech. Now, let's ask ourselves some obvious questions. Is Rumble doing this purely on principle, or are they doing this on the basis of what it's going to do to YouTube? Well, that's for you and I to determine individually. On the whole, I'm willing to give Rumble benefit of the doubt and say this is a matter of principle. Now, am I going to deny that it has the benefit of sticking it to YouTube? Of course not. That's exactly what it's going to do. And it again points out the contrast between these two social media platforms. And it also goes on to give it a perfect example of why it is that Rumble, slowly but surely, is going to overtake YouTube over time. Don't get me wrong, YouTube's still the big dog in the pound. But as time goes by, there's another dog that's getting just as big, and their bite is getting just as effective. I say hoorah for Rumble in this case. And YouTube, you'd learn a valuable lesson by looking at your competitor and realizing there is a benefit to be achieved by allowing free speech to have its way. But that's what I think about it. What do you think? As we start to wrap up this video, please do me some favors as always. Number 1, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, please do so. Number 2, please leave a comment below. I would love to know what you think about this. Number 3, please share the video around. Number 4, hit the bell for notifications. I want to make sure you're always aware when new material is coming out. And number 5, please give me a thumbs up. My name is Brian Trippett. I am your front porch conservative, and I'll see you next time.